Today, we're going to create a career plan for a job search. So Priya is in her late 30s and currently works as an HR generalist at a mid-sized tech company. She enjoys working with people and solving organizational problems, but her role has become mostly administrative. She's ready for something more strategic and is aiming to move into an HR business partner position. She has a strong foundation in HR, but she hasn't been through a full job search in years. With a young child at home and limited time in the evenings, she wants to be focused and intentional in her approach. So Priya decides to create a career plan. And the first step is creating a career goal. And so thinking about a long-term goal, she comes up with a rough idea of what her long-term goal is, which is secure a more strategic HR role, such as an HR business partner position, within the next 6 months. And that's a good goal. I think it works. It's definitely time-bound, but we can make it a little bit more measurable, a little bit more specific. And so she decides to make it a little bit more smart and comes up with, by the end of December 2025, I will apply to 10 plus relevant HR business partner roles and secure a new position that aligns with my long-term growth goals and includes strategic responsibilities. So this is also showing her being a little bit more picky about the types of roles she's going to apply for too. And so we put that as end of the year, December 2025, and we add the goal. And there it is. So it's added to the career plan now. So the next thing to look at is the growth milestones. And so in this, we want to identify the key skills, experiences, or achievements she needs to reach this goal. These are the major steps that mark progress. So if we think about it, well, if she wants to apply to these roles, she's going to need to update and also tailor her resume and LinkedIn for those types of roles. So we'll put in a growth milestone, update and tailor resume and LinkedIn for HR business partner roles. And we'll want to start applying fairly soon. So if it's July 16th now, maybe she will give herself till the end of the month, so just over 2 weeks for that. So we'll add in that growth milestone. The next thing she thinks is maybe gain more experience with strategic HR initiatives at her current job. That could also be helpful for adding to her resume. So it might take her a little while to kind of get that figured out, so we'll give that one a month. Another thing that could be helpful is reconnecting with contacts in her professional network. She's been busy, so it takes some time to do that. So we're going to do that by the second week of August. And then last one, thinking ahead, she does get pretty nervous with interviews. So she's going to practice interview responses that highlight her strategic thinking, getting her ready for this more strategic role. And so that's one she's going to start doing, let's give it August 4th. Okay, and so she's created her growth milestones. So we go back to the career plan, and there they are with their dates. The next thing to think about is challenges. So she thought about it and identified 2 main challenges that are getting in the way of applying for these HR business partner roles. The first one is struggling with imposter syndrome. So sometimes she doubts she's strategic enough, even though she's qualified. The second challenge is that she finds it hard to prioritize job searching while balancing work and parenting, which is fair. So let's start with imposter syndrome first. So we're just going to put the challenge right in there. Imposter syndrome, doubting I'm strategic enough. And then Priya needs to think a bit about, well, how will I respond to that? So her strategy for that is setting small, focused weekly goals instead of trying to do everything at once. Another thing she's going to start doing is using the achievement tracker in Careerity and some of the reflection prompts as well to remind herself of some of these past wins and build confidence. Using these as well will also help in building the resume and prepping for the interview. So let's add in how she'll respond. Setting small, focused weekly goals. Use achievement tracker and career check-in to stay mindful of past wins. Then the second one is how to prioritize job searching while balancing work and parenting. And so how she's going to respond to that is actually going to be the career plan. So the first thing she's going to do is use the career plan to outline crucial steps and get in-app reminders. Second one is set up 3 sessions with a career coach to stay on track and be held accountable. And then along with that, she'll also get feedback on the resume and interview prep process. Okay, and then we go back to this, and we've got the challenge in there and her response. Okay, and then the last one is the short-term objectives. So this is where we want to set some of those specific actionable steps. And this is what's going to be really helpful for her while she makes job searching a priority with everything else she's got going on. So the first one she writes is finalize the resume by the end of this week. And so we'll go for category, resume and cover letter. And then end of the week, we'll put as July 18th. And then she notices that Sunday evenings is a good time to apply for jobs. She has a bit of a break then, so she's going to add that in and start applying. And then what she can also do is do that every Sunday. So she can then go, okay, so I've got the 20th, then I'll add in the 27th. And then reach out to at least one past colleague per week. We'll put that as networking, and then we'll give it this week. We'll give her to Sunday to reach out to at least one colleague. Ask current manager for an assignment involving strategic planning. So that's always a good idea to see if she can get some more experience. So she's going to do that as of Monday next week. And then use Careerity's Ace Your Interview prep resources to start planning. And so that one she's going to do starting July 23rd. Okay, and so now she's got everything in there. So she's got her short-term objectives. They're all in order. So she knows what she needs to do over the next week or so to kind of get herself working towards this long-term goal. So now Priya can go back to the home screen. And then as you can see at the top right here, the bell has an orange dot. And that is just basically letting her know she does have short-term objectives due in the next 3 days. She can click through, and then they're listed here as well. And so as she completes them, she can just click on done like this, and then those will be gone. And that's basically it for the career plan. Thanks for watching.